Are you
One
good
has
for
their
photo?
hair down and the other has their
Listen up, guys. All right, grad senators are here. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, new senators. I know this is your first general body meeting. Quick round of applause for Steven Sparazza, Justin Itzine, Keegan Caraway, and Jenna Friedberg for winning. It's going to be a good year. I'm looking forward to working with all of you. We'll talk about committee requirements later in this meeting. Many of you have already joined the different Senate committees, and it's been great to see you put in work at this point. We're all looking forward to having you on board. So, without further ado, does anybody here still not have a polo with them? All right. Vidovich, I'm going to ask you to put your polo on. Everybody, we are going to be going outside to take the Senate photo. So let's just go. We're going to be heading outside towards the horseshoe. We're going to line up right in front of the Rensselaer Union logo. Makes sense? So guys, as some of you may have noticed in my email, I left a certain sentence vague. Nothing shows unity and professionalism more than complete sentences, but nothing encourages unity and professionalism more than free candy. There will be candy given out like this at every meeting if you are wearing your polo. So bring your polos to every meeting. It looks good. It shows that we're unified in front of any administrators or guests that we have speaking. And you will also get candy. Sound good? Okay. So with that on our plate, we have two motions to get through today before we get to the light walk. Listen up, Paul. Everyone over there taking a selfie. We have two motions to get through today. First years, pay attention here. So the Student Senate is the legislative body of the student union, as you may be aware by now. The way we pass this legislation is via motions. Motions are typically given out at the start of a meeting. They must be signed and seconded by senators in order to move to become passed. We then proceed to talk about the motion, to discuss, debate, and at the end of the discussion there will be a vote. Make sense? So you must be a senator, or you must represent a council that has previously voted to move something to the Senate in order to bring a motion to the floor. So our first motion tonight, the Rensselaer Union 45th Student Senate approved the minutes for September 15th, 2014 and September 22nd, 2014. So moved by Justin Itzine and seconded by Mason Cooper. Do we have any questions? Any discussion? Michael will keep it cute. Okay, seeing none, we will move right to vote. Once again, the Rensselaer Union 45th Student Senate approves the minutes for September 15th, 2014 and September 22nd, 2014. So moved by Justin, seconded by Mason. All those in favor? Okay. All opposed? Okay, one opposed. All right, motion passes 19-1. So this was, of course, a simple motion, approval of minutes. We'll be doing this every meeting for the previous meeting's minutes. There was a delay in releasing minutes a couple meetings ago, so we waited until now to do the past 2 weeks, but it'll be a pretty regular thing. Next up, we have a ceremonial motion. How many of you have met Dr. Sams in your time here? Dr. Sams has been the VP for Student Life for Rensselaer for the past few years. In my time here, I've worked with him a number of times. A lot of us have. And he is resigning from his position in the next couple weeks. He's going to another college. I believe it's Meriwether.
Morehouse?
Morehouse, thank you. Yeah, he's going to Morehouse, where he's taking up a higher role. So it's a great career transition for him. There's going to be a reception this Wednesday from 2 to 4 in Russell Sage Dining Hall, where students, staff, and faculty alike are invited to thank him for everything he's done, and that's what this motion is. So the Rensselaer Union 45th Student Senate, in recognition of the impending departure of Dr. Timothy Sams, Vice President for Student Life, whereas Dr. Sams has remained a dedicated supporter for student rights, student initiatives, student leadership, and the RPI student experience. Whereas Dr. Sams has taken immense strides to ensure equality in student representation and to give students every opportunity to have their voices heard. Whereas Dr. Sams has been an approachable, friendly, highly regarded professional and personal advocate for all students. Resolves to recognize and honor Dr. Sams for his contributions to the quality of student life and the rights and well-being of the student body. The student senate thanks Dr. Sams for his advocacy, approachability, and dedication, and wishes him the best of luck in all his future endeavors. Do we have any questions? Yeah, you don't.
I'm not sure. Just wondering what the reason for so many whereases were. They can be like conjoined, or is that not a problem?
Say that again?
I was just wondering about the grammar choices, the whereases.
It's a standard motion,
Oh.
like procedure. Paul?
It was going to be just asking the same question, so for clarification, since it seems kind of similar to this,
Any further questions? All right, seeing none, we move to vote. Does anyone want me to reread the whole thing again?
Mike, put your hands. Oh my God.
Tyler wants it? No, I'll reread it. Bear with me, everybody. Okay. The Rensselaer Union 45th Student Senate, in recognition of the impending departure of Dr. Timothy Sams, Vice President for Student Life. Whereas Dr. Sams has remained a dedicated supporter for student rights, student initiatives, student leadership, and the RPI student experience. Whereas Dr. Sams has taken immense strides to ensure equality in student representation and give students every opportunity to have their voices heard. Whereas Dr. Sams has been an approachable, friendly, highly regarded professional and personal advocate for all students. Resolves to recognize and honor Dr. Sams for his contributions to the quality of student life and the rights and well-being of the student body. The Student Senate thanks Dr. Sams for his advocacy, approachability, and dedication, and wishes him the best of luck in all his future endeavors. So moved by Lexi Rendoni and seconded by Shoshana Rubenstein. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion passes 19-01.
Yeah. The last one added up to 21.
Okay, then there's two abstains. If it was 19, at least three. Okay, for a point of information, who abstained on the last motion? Okay, then we have 19-03. Have a pen? I'm going to pass this motion around. I'd like all of us, or at least all who are willing to sign. This is going to be presented to Dr. Sams at the reception this Wednesday. So we're going to start over here. When it gets to the end, Mason, can you go over and pass it to Vidovich to continue it around? Thank you. So that was a long motion and that was ceremonial. Most of the motions we go through here will detail student appointments or the projects being worked on in the various committees. Hopefully that gave you a brief introduction to how parliamentary procedure works here. All right, so next up, before we get to our presentation for the evening, I want to go into our committee reports, get them out of the way. After our presentation, we're going to be segueing right into the light walk itself. So we're going to start with rules of elections. Melanie.
We have new Senate babies. So elections are over, and so we're gonna start meeting regularly. Right now we're figuring out when we can all meet at the same time. So that is to be announced. And we'll be working on referendum, signing policy rules, and electronic voting. Okay.
Anything else? Okay, thank you. Marcus, AAC.
Okay, so for the syllabus project, we're contacting department heads to start organizing the syllabi, and we're contacting web services to see where the syllabi will be hosted. Mentoring project, we're designing an integrated system between ALAC and ANS to pilot, and the pilot's going to be within the main department, and by main, mechanical, aerospace, and nuclear engineering. Academic representation, we're contacting department societies to get input on their roles. Research opportunities, peer institutes have a system in place which should make it a very pleasing system for us to present in the future to future faculty and administrators. And we're contacting the VP of Research regarding other research projects.
Do you have a meeting set up with the VP of Research?
Working.
Okay, thank you. Michael, MSC.
Most important thing that happened this week, we took back pet-friendly housing.
Okay.
So we have 8 projects on our docket right now. So any help from freshman senators?
Where that Arizona at though?
We're working on it. Any help from freshman senators that would like to help would be greatly appreciated. As far as most of the projects are going pretty well, I'm meeting with Alex Silva not this Thursday, but next Thursday. So some of the projects are going to be a little bit slower than usual, but I'm going to just have an email conversation with him before the meeting to kind of see what can be done before we meet in person. Besides that, nothing new. Yeah.
Can you repeat the first part?
Pet-friendly housing!
All right, thank you, Michael. Joe, HSEC.
So last Tuesday, for our first meeting, we aired out some student, I guess we would call them ideas. All the meetings is a better word. Anyway, we meet again tomorrow, 6 p.m. to sort through everything we came up with to create more solidified project ideas. On October 9th, we'll be meeting with the very important people that work for Sodexo very soon. Feel free to stop by tomorrow at 6 p.m. and help us out.
Thank you, Joe. Lexi, SLC.
This past meeting, we finalized some survey questions and kind of some project areas that we want to pursue within our 3 subcommittees. Also, Case and I had a meeting with Dean Schill, the Dean of Residence Life, about the specific issues regarding residence life that our committee came up with. So we're going to move forward by recruiting or trying to recruit some residence life members to our subcommittee, as well as trying to get Kyle to talk to Claude Grounds about the current residence hall renovations and fund. So I'll let Paul do his committee report on the student policy group, but things are going well.
Any questions? Okay. Paul, policy.
Well, if we're out of saying Paul, needed kinds of policy, we met. We continued discussing increasing membership and reaching out to groups. We've emailed the Student Athletics Advisory Council Committee, SAAC. And right now we're kind of just stuck since we can't really do that much because we can't really tell everybody to show up and have them come and then be like, hey, we don't have the document we told you to come here and look at, so we're kind of waiting for Dean Smith to send us the document when he has time. So we're chilling in the hallway.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Gabe, Webtown.
This week we met with Alex De Silva for shuttles and transportation. He took over from Jason Jones. They purchased, I think it was like 2 new shuttles over the summer, so now the hardware was transferred over for shuttle tracking. So we're trying to take inventory on that and get any replacements if they need it or fix any broken hardware. Also, today they did the test of the emergency alert system and Concerto responded successfully. Carousel, we're still pending a response. Other than that, I'm working on a new feature with Flagship to support Google Drive links. So when you create a Google Drive document, you get a link that you can share with everyone. And if you can upload that, then it'll be a lot quicker than having like browser computer upload that. We'll be meeting tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the ESGS for anyone interested.
Thank you, Gabe. Yep. Morgan is not here for community relations, so we'll skip that. On constituent reports then, Shoshana Eborn.
Last week, the executive board approved money for the undergraduate council to buy binders to stuff with training materials for the incoming class that was recently elected. RMA was allowed to reallocate money for extra keys for their various storage rooms and J building access, as well as money towards a server and a scanner so that they can document their music as well as their video recordings of their performances. And then lastly, a note for rules and elections. The MAP committee, which is marketing, advertising, and publicity, is looking at sign policy as well, particularly in the union, so you guys should coordinate. I'll give you the contact for Colton, who's in charge of that. So, cool.
Thank you, Shosh. Kristen, grad council.
Not much new business. We are ordering polos.
What color are they?
They're black.
Different. Okay. All right. James, IFC.
So, if anyone doesn't know, DKE is coming back. Not Teeks, but DKE. Their recruitment starts. It's a fraternity. Yeah, sorry. Teeks. Yeah. Their recruitment starts October 5th and lasts about a month, and they're the only ones that are able to recruit during that time. They're going to have alumni coming to recruit. And Hazing Prevention Week was last week. And also, we're still trying to make a Greek movie happen, but the school will not let us use any like software studios or anything like that to work it out. So if anyone knows of anyone else, just tell us. And that's it.
So, where was DK before? What was the last thing you said?
So we're trying to make so the last question, we're trying to make a Greek movie just to show off Greek life at RPI.
Oh, because you're not trying to watch it.
No.
Okay.
That would be really awesome. We're trying to make a movie. But DKE, they used to be, I think, an admissions building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were a frat here.
They were a frat here. They kept on campus for a number of years, around 14, 10 years. Yes, quite a few. And they're coming back now. I don't think they're allowed to be in admissions building or like to live there or anything like that. But yeah, they're coming back and alumni are gonna recruit for them.
That movie can happen.
Alright, perfect.
So what are the requirements for someone to join? So wait, guys. So what are the requirements for someone to join the student fraternity?
I think you have to be a graduate. It's alright. That answers the question.
Part-time, it's okay.
I'm assuming that they have a minimum GPA, and they probably want sophomores and freshmen, but they would probably a lot of juniors too. What?
Are they gonna have a house?
I don't believe they're in a house currently. I think they'll have a house in future years if they will not pay. Yeah.
Justin, you have some? Okay. All right, any other questions for James? Okay, so with Morgan not here, we're going to move on to my report. Just a couple of reminders. We still have vacancies in the position of Senate Communications Chair, Independent Senator, and Graduate Senator. So if you're interested in any of those, please apply. Just shoot me an email and I'll schedule a time to interview you. I make appointments for all three of those positions. Graduate Senator, of course, this would be referred to the Graduate Council. As I said before, there's a campus reception for Dr. Sands this Wednesday from 2 to 4 p.m. This is open to anybody to attend. If you've known him or have worked with him, I would encourage you to be there. Even if not, it'll be a good time, and it's a nice honor to give him showing up, just kind of thanking him for everything he's done. It's in Sage. It's upstairs in Sage Dining Hall. Is that wrong, Jeff?
I think it's an alumni house.
If it was moved, I was told Sage last one. Okay, well, I'll get the final thing. I'll get the final location out on later tonight or early tomorrow. All right. So with that, we're going to move on to Michael Hahn, who's presenting about the Senate Light Walk.
Yes, please. Do I just like have? Do I turn this
Are you set for dual screen?
Just switch the displays.
Yeah, it's there.
Listen up, guys.
All right, so all of you guys should have gotten my email today that we're doing the light walk. What is the light walk? So we hold a light walk every year. This is our Senate picture from last year. And then we went to the light walk like right after that. So the light walk is a yearly event we hold every semester. We go every year. We walk around different parts of campus and a little bit off campus to figure out what kind of things are going on as far as public safety goes, and also is a great opportunity for the freshman senators to get to know the senators that have been here for a year, 2 years, 3 years, etc. Next. Things to look out for while you're walking out on the streets. So I talked to Lieutenant Norton, who works in the Department of Public Safety, and she asked to look out for street lamps, whether they're dim or broken, cracked sidewalks or pavements, crosswalks, broken stoplights or like crosswalk signs. I know we had an issue with that last year. Trees or bushes or any kind of like shrubbery blocking the sidewalk. Pretty much if an area kind of seems like sketchy, I put a thing for that in the form. And anything else that might kind of impede students from walking along the sidewalk safely. So maybe there's like a giant like bunch of boxes in the way or something, I don't know. Next. So what happens afterwards, so what we're gonna do is while you're out there, you're gonna fill out a Google form. You can access it on your form. I've included the link here, it's pretty easy to get to. It's gonna get all combined into a Google spreadsheet. And then from there, we just give it to Lieutenant Norton, and she said she would meet with her chief and assistant chief, and they would go over like how it affects how they're going to do daily patrols at night, and also they want to be able to compare like how many lights are broken on the RPI side versus like the public City of Troy side. So we want to keep count of all of those. Next. So these are the routes. So the first route is mainly through campus. I just assigned these like with the list of senators. We just ran as assigned. So the person in bold is whoever's the FSC member or cabinet member in charge. Doesn't mean you have to listen to them, but yeah. So this is the first route. So we're going to be going through campus and down to like Blitman, and then just covering most of campus. Next route is Route B, is up to ECAV. So and I included a link to like go to all these pictures too. So you go up to ECAV. You generally check the general like RAPS stack area. RAPS B, I believe, right? This is RAPS B or RAPS A?
It's B.
Okay, RAPS B. Oh, it says right there. And then up to Colony and down Burdett. Next one is the 15th Street route. So you go like kind of towards the alumni house, and those dots mean that since it's a group of 4, you're gonna split into groups of 2, and then so like split here and then meet back here. And then the next one is starting from the Union, you go down to where like this is the route I was on last year, I believe. You go down to Tibbetts, so that's where like the stoplight is. So this is like Troy High right here. You go down, you split off here, and then you go up to Sunset, and then through ECAV and back to the Union. The next one, this is where all the grad senators are because they're lazy and they wanted to. They wanted to go straight home right afterwards. So this is the 15th Street, and this is like Pizza Bella right here. So this is like the Pizza Bella area, I like to call it, because I live like right there too. Next is the last route is Beeman Park area. So it goes like kind of past the alumni house, but you don't have to cover that because we're going to cover it in the campus route. And then these are the 2 links. So the form, you can just type that in. It's pretty easy. I made it easy on purpose. And then if you don't know what your route is, it's LW routes. So yeah, you can go on that and fill out the Google form to figure out where you're going. Any questions? Yes.
Is Lindsay Martin part of like Troy Police Department or
Pub Safe.
Pub Safe, okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah. Yeah, Joe.
I'll keep cute.
I don't know if Mario Cancers or Kali Cancers, would you like us to reconvene here after the light walk? Or
You don't have to.
Thank you.
And when you're done, you can just go home. Yeah. Yes.
Kristen.
How do you mark what street lamp is?
So, if you look at the form, there I've included like a description. There's also like a specific location box. So if you put like the street it's on, and also on the street lamps, there's a number that should be on it, on both the RPI ones and the City of Troy ones. So if you include that, that helps too. But if you just give the general area, they should be able to figure out if it's out or not, like when they're actually checking to verify the info. Yes.
I'm sorry if you already covered this, but since we are going to be on the streets of our City of Troy, do we also acknowledge if like the crosswalks aren't well marked and things like that?
Jen?
Tibbetts doesn't have a stoplight anymore.
Okay.
The intersection too.
Oh wait, yeah. The one that's like it's
So
like.
don't keep walking their stoplights around there.
Okay. Any other questions?
Conrad.
Who is Lieutenant Norton?
She works in pub safe.
Does she have a title?
Lieutenant. Her name is Lieutenant Leslie Norton.
Anyone else? Any other questions, comments? Okay, then I think we know what to do. Everyone find your group leader. Come to Michael if you have any questions about being your group leader.